Hey, visionaries! You are now tuned in to the Starts with a Vision podcast, where everything you do in life starts with a vision. If your vision is clear or foggy, you are in the right place. It's time to go take what's yours, because there's a vision only you can see, and a dream only you can dream. And now, your host, Mr. Starts with a Vision.
What up, guys? It is Isaiah Fowler, aka Mr. Starts with a Vision. And I did not tell you that we have a lineup out of this world this week. Well, check it out. Today we have Will Glenn is today's guest. Earlier this year, he had got in some trouble. He went to jail. And then after he got out of jail, he started a business and now is at $40K monthly. And at the time this is at the time of the recording. When you hear it, he may be at 50 or 60K monthly. But the fact remains that this story is amazing, and this is all about hope and just kind of giving you perspective. I want everybody listening to know it's never over, okay? It's never over, ever. And also, you can do it. Literally, you can do it. So today's guest is Will Glenn. It's so much information and knowledge inside of this episode. I really, really, really want you to listen to this episode in its entirety. So, with that being said, enjoy the episode. Will Glenn. What's going on, everybody? This is Isaiah Fowler, a.k.a. Mr. Starts with a Vision. You already know you are on the best podcast on the planet, and today is no different because I got a super dope guest today for y'all, like super dope. And the story is like insane. Like the story of today's guest is super, super, super crazy because this really shows how fast your life could change. Like your life can change literally in a day, in a second, in a decision. You know, your life could change in a month, like seriously. So today's guest is Will Glenn. How you doing today, Will, man?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Man, all is well, man. We had a good conversation earlier, and I think it was crazy because we are actually from the same hometown. So you from Sacramento, California as well?
Yeah, right.
Did you grow up there or what?
Yeah. Well, I was actually born in Arkansas because my dad's from Arkansas.
Okay.
So that's where my mom and my dad met. Uh-huh. But yeah, I probably grew up there. I can say I grew up there probably half of my life, like till I was about. Let me see. Let me give I don't want to lie on radio. So I'm going to say maybe 10 years of my life I was there.
Okay. Cool. So where are you located at now?
Right now I'm in Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay. Monroe, Louisiana. All right. So this is how I met you. I want everybody to know this is how I met you. And we're in a Facebook group together, right? A Facebook group. And he posted something. He said, something to the effect of earlier this year, I was in jail. I had got out and I started marketing for businesses. And in 30 days, was it? You got up to 20K a month?
30 days.
30 days. Okay. So in 30 days, he managed to do this. So, I hear stuff like this all the time and it doesn't faze me because like money doesn't impress me. But you could kind of feel somebody's spirit through social media sometimes. And so, when I read it, I was like, okay. And I went to your page, of course. And I said, okay, like this dude seems real and I could relate to him. So I messaged you and then we kind of just started from there. But, it just goes to show how fast your life could change. So, really, man, like how did you, first off, what happened earlier this year?
Okay, earlier this year, I'll say around maybe, I know the exact date was March 14th, but I don't know the exact day they did the investigation. Uh-huh. But what it was this guy who was calling in February, and he used to call, just scam the store. I was working in electronics. I was the manager of the electronics department. Uh-huh. And so he would call, and they had these Visa cards, and they'll be like, hey, I want to call and make sure that these Visa cards work. So they're pretty much acting like the Visa vendor. Mm-hmm. And so they would make you ring it up and then give them the card number over the phone and take the money like that. But I caught on to what was going on. And so I went and told my head manager, and she was like, the next time they call, just don't pick it up or bring the phone to me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. And so they just kept on doing it, kept on doing it, kept on doing it. They wound up taking around $800 away from the store. And so I'm not at work at the time. I come back to work the next month or the next 3 weeks or so, and next thing you know, the police, they call me and they like, we got you on camera stealing. We got you on camera taking the money off the cars. I'm like, first of all, you can't take the money off the cars because the money is already on the car. You can't just do that. That's not how it go. And they're like, well, maybe you was working with them and maybe you knew about it the whole time. Like, look, I don't know anything about it. They're like, you can't lie. We got you on camera, but they never showed me any footage. And so that being my first time in any type of legal situation, I'm being naive, being dumb. I'm like, okay, they said they got me on camera. They must have did something, so I'm just going to comply. So I wound up signing that paper saying that I did it.
Damn.
And so I went to jail for maybe, I think I was in there a day. And it was like the worst experience of my life because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm thinking like, I got to tell my mom about this. I'm only 22 years old. She's going to kill me.
Right.
I ain't never been in no type of legal situation. She's going to kill me. She's going to kill me. She's going to kill me. And so it actually went kind of smooth. But I'm just going to let everybody know how life works out for you. The exact same week, I went to go get my driver's license renewed because I needed it renewed. I went to go get my driver's license renewed that Thursday, and I wound up meeting this guy. He was turned out to be an FBI agent and a private investigator. And so I told him, I was like, man, I don't know how, he just knew. He looked at me and he came to me. He was like, you look like something's bothering you. I was like, man, I don't know you, but I just got in some legal situations and I don't know how I'm gonna get out of it. And then out of nowhere, he's like, oh, that's what I specialize in. I'm like, word? Like, for real? That's what you specialize? He like, yeah, I'm dead serious. So he started showing me like clips of him in jail, and he's from Atlanta. By the way. Okay. And so he started showing me clips of cases and stuff he was working and all that right there. And then so we wound up going out to Texas for about a week to go handle the case, and he pretty much worked the case for me. And now I'll be done with that case in as a matter of fact 2 weeks from now.
Okay, so and I just want to illustrate this. So you literally are finishing up with this case because I want people to see like not everybody's life is perfect. Because when people have success, people be making it seem like that was like 8 years ago and they're just perfect, right? But you literally have seen a lot of success in a short amount of time. But this is like you're not far removed from this.
Yeah, this is ongoing right now.
Right.
Like, I will be done with this in 2 weeks.
Right. Okay. So where were you working at?
I was working at Target.
Okay. So earlier this year, you were at Target. You got arrested. You went to jail for something that happens often in this industry, like you were telling me. And so after you get out, what happens? Like, what do you do?
I get out. The first thing I'm like, okay, I need to do something because first I need to pay for a lawyer. Second, I need to pay for whatever fine that's going to come with that. Third, I need to pay this guy for helping me. And by the grace of God, he told me he wasn't going to charge me anything.
Oh, word.
When I first went down there, I had to pay 3 lawyers $10,000 of my own money for my royalty checks just to get this stuff away. And so I was like, dang, that's almost everything that I saved up.
Because I forgot you do music as well.
Right.
Right. So, okay. So you do music, you have some money saved up from there, but you pretty much ended up dumping all your royalty money into, this lawyer and everything like that, right?
Right. Because this wasn't just in the state of Louisiana, anything over $300 is a felony charge.
Whoa.
And so this was a felony. So I needed a good system, a good team to get it away.
Damn. See, that's real strict right there. Damn, that's crazy. So now after you paid them and everything, like when did you get online? When did you when did the decision get made in your mind? Like, okay, I'm about to start doing this.
That decision hit my mind. I was with my girlfriend, and so I was just looking. I was just explaining to her one day. I was like, man, I need to come up with some money because this not working out. And so I thought about it. My brother gave me a call. He was like, we had got that Ty Lopez, because I know I'm not affiliated with Ty Lopez by any means. I'm not trying to market him, none of that. And I was like, I really don't want to take that. But we also had Joe Soto. We both had bought some courses. And we got Joe Soto, and I'm not trying to market him either. But we took his course, and I was like, man, this stuff is easy. I forgot that I took this. Right. And I literally started this in June. As a matter of fact, it was like June 15th to about July 30th. So that's literally 4 to 5 weeks. And I was like, man, I got this. I didn't put on a suit and tie, just, kind of got casually dressed because I didn't want to look like that everyday cliche. And I was like, I'm finna go to these people door. I'm finna help as many people as I can. I'm just finna persuade these people. Right. 44K. And I'm just now, actually, it was 27K, but I just closed in 3 extra clients last week and made it 44K.
Okay, so 44K in residual income off of client work.
And that's correct.
Okay, so let's really like dissect this because people be thinking it's a game. So did you start cold calling or were you going door to door or what was your marketing strategy? How did you get your first client?
This is pretty much the golden question. Everybody wants to know this. I got my first client by a simple email. As a matter of fact, they won't be afraid if I say it's a company up here named Premier Autos. And my first client was a car dealership. Right. And so I walked in one day and I was like, I'm the guy who emailed you guys about social media marketing. And he was like, hey, nice to meet you. He was like, we have a social media marketer, but he's not really doing a good job. I said, man, he's not a social media marketer. He's a guy that's taking your money.
Right.
And so it was like, they asked me, do you have like a trial or anything that we can pretty much see what you're about? I said, sure. The biggest thing that helped me was I have a business degree in marketing and finances. Okay. So I do have that. That helped me out a little bit. And the fact that I had my own social media presence from an artist. So I done built up my own Facebook, my own Instagram, my own Twitter, all of that. And so I was like, hey, I did this for myself. I can do this for you. And they was like, how do we know that it's authentic? So I'm like, okay, I will post a picture right now and you can see how my fans engage with me. And then I also have 2 e-commerce stores on Shopify that was kind of helping me out. Now I was like, see, I could bring money to myself. So just imagine what I could do for you. Exactly. So we wound up talking. I gave them a 2-week trial. I ran basic Facebook advertisements, like basic Facebook advertisements. And they gained like 300 likes on their Facebook page. And that was from, notice this is in Monroe. Monroe is a big city, but it's not that big. But they had people from Bastrop. They had Ruston. They had a few people from Texas that's like 4 hours away looking in. They got like, I think the guy told me they had 17 calls of people looking at cars that they could not sell. Right. Damn. And I was like, see, that's how social media marketing works. Right. That's exactly how I landed my first client. And then we wound up talking. I got him to sign a contract, and that right there was $1,500. Okay. So you got him at $1,500, but then you was telling me that your approach is a little bit different from just what everybody else is approaching. So how do you drop the gem in terms of the added value to get that same person who's already paying you to get them to pay you more? And that's how I get them to pay me more. See. Now, this may not work for everybody, but this is what worked for me. I'm not trying to sell you a get-rich-quick scheme or anything, but this is how it worked for me. I personally know how to do graphic design. I know how to do video design, video editing, all of that. And so I told them, in the state of Louisiana, a whole lot of these car dealerships, they don't have nice-looking commercials. So I told them I can make a commercial that can go right to the TV for you. I can make a commercial that's going to air on the internet. I can make a YouTube commercial. I can make any type of commercial you may need and put it on there and get it out there for you. Right. And so that baited them in. The commercials, the graphic design baited them in. The SEO and baited them in. I said I can put you on a search engine when people type in used cars for Monroe, Louisiana, or in your area, and you will be on the first page. The Google Analytics, all of that. Right. And was there any apprehension, or was he like, yo, bet? And was this like immediately after you got them results, or was this maybe like, I mean, it ain't even been a year, so I can't even like have a timeline, but was it right after the trial, or was it like after the first payment, or like when did you kind of do this? I did all of this kind of in between. The way I go about my clients, I pick my client, I kind of build up a portfolio. I kind of do a little thing a little bit in advance, like try to do my homework on them. I try to map it out almost like a demo of what I can do for them before I get there. But this particular thing, it happened. I can't say after they signed because it was kind of in between the trial period when they started seeing results.
Okay. And then they were just like, oh, we want to work with you. And then once they said we want to work with you, you were kind of like, yo, like pretty much like, do you want this before we really sign on and, you know, continue to go further?
Yeah, that's exactly how it went.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. How do you, after like the first month, even like the second, like how do you keep the content fresh? How do you keep fresh new leads coming in?
What I do is I go by, for my lead generation, is Facebook. But you know, a whole lot of people tell you to retarget, make look like audience. I just make look like audiences.
Man, powerful.
That's
Very
it, like
powerful.
look like audiences.
And that pretty much gets another group of people who are pretty much just like the same people that were leads before. Right. Okay. Cool. So you more so go that route. So from this, you started doing this, man, and like, what was the mindset? Like, what was your mindset before you got your first client until the point where you were like, yo, like, this shit is crazy. Like, people really about to pay me. And, you know, like, when you hit like 10K, like, what was that like mindset shift?
Man, I'm not gonna even lie. When I hit that first 10K, I was like, man, this stuff is real. You know how you be a little skeptical about some things. Like, man, I hit 1,500, but who say I'm going to hit a next 1,500 or another 3,000?
Right.
And so I got the next client, which was a lawyer, and he was like, okay, I'll give you 3,000. I got it, and I'm like, he said, if you can show me the work, then I'll pay you 3,000. And he gave me that 3,000, and I was like, okay, that's 3,000. I'm like, man, this is real. It's actually happening. I'm like, you know how you get hyped up a little bit. Cause you like, people actually doing this. I'm like, can I keep it up? But I just had to stay calm. Had to like stay calm, be like, okay, I made it this far. I've been doing this. Plus, me coming from music, I used to travel a little bit when I was back home in Sacramento, doing little shows and stuff. So I'm like, come on, this ain't nothing you ain't never did before.
Right.
This not money you ain't never seen.
Right.
Let's make more.
But it's just crazy because of like, you know, just kind of like where you were mentally not too long ago.
Yeah, because I was like in the hole. When I say depression, it wasn't too much depression, but I was like depressed about, because I also have a son. And I'm like, man, I can't go to jail because I got a son that I can barely see. And if I'm already can barely see him, then if I go to jail, then a felon ain't gonna tell him how long I'm gonna be in there. Right. I'm like, I got a son. Me and my girlfriend, literally the day that this happened, me and my girlfriend had just decided we wanted to be a couple. And I'm like, dang, come on, what is life throwing at me right now? Right.
Why do you feel like things like this happen in life though? You know, and I'm just asking because I just think life is crazy and entrepreneurship is crazy. But from your perspective, like, you know, like, why do you think things like that happen?
I think honestly this happens to go ahead and make you the person you're supposed to be. I was always told this, and I always preach this. You never let your situation decide your fate for you. You stay in a situation so long and you trying to think about what you want to do with life. And then your circumstances will make that choice for you. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a choice you're not going to want to accept. And so I just feel like that circumstances finally just told me, look, you can accept what we throwing at you, or you can get up and get your life together. Because I was kind of like relaxed and chill mode, kind of like, okay, I just got this new promotion. I'm manager. Everything is good. Got too complacent. Right. And I just think they just shook me up and just go ahead and made me who I was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's deep right there, man, because there's too many people out here, they allow their situations to control their lives, and it is very crazy. But you mentioned something, man. You mentioned depression. And you not deep, but you know, you mentioned it, and so, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been depressed before. I made an episode about it and everything. So, like, you know, how does a person who may be feeling a little bit depressed, how does a person who may be down, you know, their success isn't here yet, like, how does a person kind of get through that?
My best advice on that is to surround yourself with people, with like-minded people, or just good people, because you never want to get in a hole. You never want to sit there and drown in your own thoughts. So I won't say vent, but surround yourself around people. Surround yourself around positive people that got a little bit of something going on for themselves, and just talk about it. And then you just talk with yourself from time to time, like, hey, I'm going to get through this. Life might be down right now, but it's going to be some light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
So you just sit there and you pretty much coach yourself up, build yourself up, be your own motivation. You sit there, you just tell yourself, I'm a warrior. I'm going to get through this.
Right.
This is exactly what I signed up for. Everything is not going to get good if I don't have anything bad. Ooh. I can't have a miracle if I don't have a disaster.
Ooh, man, you preaching today, man.
And that's my best advice.
But no, that's real though. Like, you cannot have a miracle if you don't have a disaster. And so, at this point, like in your life, let me ask you this, man. Because people may look at your success as fast. Because how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, you 22 making $40K a month, pretty much. Like, let's just put it in perspective, right? It's people who are 40 years old and never made over $4K a month, right? So, like,
right.
How do you kind of like stay level-headed and or tell other people certain things when they're looking at you like, oh, you made it fast, like, I'm gonna make it fast. You know what I mean? Like, when they start comparing their journey to you or whatever, like, what do you tell them to slow them down? Because I think that that's very important, because just because you making $40K a month, now they don't know what you've been through, and also they don't know what they're gonna have to go through.
Right.
So what do you tell that person who, is looking at you and like, yo, I'm about to do this now?
I tell them like this. It's not hard and it's not easy. But once you get there, as fast as it came, it's as fast as it can go.
Right.
Don't do it for the money.
Right.
Especially not for the right now money. You want to do it for that long-term money.
Right.
You want to build. Don't take this and say, okay, just because he did it, I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to do it, and boom, I'm just like him now. Because you're not trying to be like me. You're trying to help yourself.
Right. At the end of the day, it's all about becoming the best version of you and, staying in your lane, whatever that is. Because for some people, they $40K a month. It may not be social media marketing. It may be, writing books, or it may be, doing something else. But, just understanding your lane and kind of like where you should go, depending upon your strengths as your own person. That just goes with knowing yourself.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you feel like? What do you feel like life is about? Like right now, are you on a high, or is it kind of like, okay, like I'm cool now, like I'm level-headed? Not saying you weren't level-headed, but like, has it kind of worn off and now like you like, all right, I'm good, it's time to grind? Or like, are you still on this like kind of state of euphoria yet?
I'm honestly I'm level-headed, but I want more. I done made that 40K easily. I want more.
Right.
And I'm not saying it because I want to be greedy. I'm money hungry. But I know what I want out of life for myself and for my family. So I want more.
Right. What do you want in life? Like, what's the big vision for you?
My big vision is to give back. I tell my girlfriend all the time, a whole lot of people that I talk to about making money, they think, oh, he's just one of those average guys who just want money, want the money, the fast. I'm like, no, I just really want to give back. I just want to change people's lives.
Right. That's it, man. And that comes from, your expression and doing what you're doing every day and helping people. Because you are pretty helpful.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Know what I mean? Just because I know, when I had messaged you, I mean, some people probably kind of would have been a little bit standoffish, but, you was really, really, really welcoming. So that's definitely cool, man. So this is another question. What steps do you feel are needed and necessary to take it to the next level in life?
My steps would be, and this might be kind of biased. My steps would be, first thing first, get yourself together.
And what do you mean by that when you say get yourself together?
I mean, handle your business. Make sure all your priorities straight. Make sure you're taking care of you. Make sure that before you get into anything, nothing in your past life or nothing that's correlating with what you're doing right now is going to affect what you're trying to do in the future. So get all that straight. Pick something. Like there's tons of things out here on the internet. even out there in the world, it's tons of things. Pick something and you stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do not be one of those persons who's just jumping from thing to thing, jumping from niche to niche. You pick one thing, you stick to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How long should you stick to it?
You should stick to it. It just depends on what you're going into. Just say, for instance, social media marketing.
Uh-huh.
Stick to it. Stick to it until you get that first client. Right. Because I got my first client within the first week and a half of me saying I'm going to do this. But that's just me. That doesn't mean that the next person is going to get it in a week and a half. The next person might get it a month down the road or the next very day that he say he's going to do it.
Exactly. Everybody's different. And
just because you didn't get it, the biggest thing I say, just because you didn't make it the first time doesn't mean that it's not for you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But you stick with it until you see that it's wasting your time.
Right. Absolutely. So what's like the, you said you want to give back and stuff, but like, what's like the next, where do you want to be in 2 years? Let's go with that, or even a year.
In 2 years, I want my social media agency to be running like high level celebrity presences and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because what I'm most likely going to do is we're going to pass it down to a family member or something. And I'm just going to oversee it because I honestly just want to get back into my music. I want to build money up for myself to where I can just promote myself.
Right.
And not have to worry about anybody else's finances, just do it on my own.
Right. So you literally were doing this to get money for you as a musician.
Right.
So you never was like, yo, I'm gonna do this because I want to whatever. Like you was like, no, I need money to continue to promote myself and build myself and my brand as a musician.
Right.
Damn. Now see, that's crazy. And that goes to show you that you were doing that for you and not because of somebody else. Because it doesn't matter if it was, selling trucks or car, whatever. You was just in a mode of I need to get money so I could put myself in a better position as this musician.
Right. And not only that, I'm still going to continue entrepreneurship because that's what I went to. I went to school to be for business. And so I'm just not going to let that go to waste. Because music is just one thing. I want to have my own production company, my own video production company. I want to own my own softwares, music softwares, DAWs and all of that, synthesizers, just the whole entrepreneurship, the whole entrepreneur scene. I just want to be a part of it. I want to be an entrepreneurial musician. Right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But I think that all musicians are entrepreneurs, but only a few tap into that business mindset, right? Because you have, people who are signed to labels, and so they don't really have much, but they working for the label pretty much. But then you have the other ones who understand the business, and from there they are the ones who go on to excel, and they have equity and property and all that other stuff, and a whole brand and everything. So definitely. But who is like your favorite musician, rapper, whoever it is? Who's your favorite?
Of this time or just all time?
Let's go with this time, current.
Currently my favorite musician would be between Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole.
Okay. Now is that because of talent or is that because of like business wise?
Talent wise.
Okay.
Business wise, my favorite rapper will always be Dr. Dre.
Oh, for real? Why is that?
Always. That man is almost a billionaire. Always.
So you got to rock with him, huh?
I got to.
I got you. And it's funny though because one of mine like in the current in terms of rapper, entrepreneur, business professional, I rock with Nipsey Hussle. Like if anybody know me, they know that I rock with Nipsey Hussle like super heavy.
Yes.
Like that.
And
dude,
I can see why.
He's ridiculous. Like he just opened up a smart store, right?
Right. And that's not his first store.
Nah, but that's the world's first smart store. Like the dude is just ridiculous, and his mindset is just so crazy. And people don't know. Like I've been studying him for like 2-3 years now. You know what I mean? So when I came out with a inspirational mixtape, and I follow what he did, and people don't even know that, but I've been studying him for so long. So like, he is definitely like, if anybody wants to learn business from an urban person, I think Nipsey Hussle is definitely like amazing, like for real.
And you just said the key word, urban. Nipsey Hussle is not mainstream.
Not at all, and he never will be.
And never will be. He don't want to.
He don't
Nipsey
care.
Hussle is the only guy that I know who's not mainstream that can sell an album for $100.
Exactly, and make 100 racks. This dude said, I'm going to sell a mixtape, not an album, a mixtape for $100. I'm gonna sell it to 1,000 people, and then he does it. And then a year or two later, he does the same thing, but he said, you know what? I'm about to sell it for 1,000, and only 100 people gonna get it. And then boom, he made 100 racks.
People bought it.
People bought it. People bought it. So who has the intellectual capability and the creativity to even come up with an idea like that? Because he don't care about going gold and platinum. He said, "What's your equity? Do you own shit? Can you make shit move?" That's all he cares about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I admire that, and it's nothing but respect with him. Like for real, it's crazy. But so what's your goals like as a musician? Do you want to take that route as well, or do you want to have your own label, or what? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I want to have my own. I kind of have a label right now, but I say kind of because I'm the only person under it. But I have a label that's up because that's what I release my music through now. It's my own label. But that's pretty much the big thing. I want to have my own label, my own promotion team, my own radio station.
Right. And you just understand that you got to have a lot of bread to make that happen.
Right.
Because it ain't no guarantees when you putting all that money out, in the creative space. Because
that's true. It's no guarantees at all.
Yeah, because you're really betting on like yourself and if people are going to like this whatever, right? And if they don't like it, and you dropped $30,000 on marketing and they don't really like it, you got to switch up your style and then spend another $30,000 and see if they like that.
Right.
So that's why you got to have this social media agency money coming in, huh?
Right. That's the main reason why. Because without that, I'm just chasing a dream.
Exactly. And now you feel like you're more valid and you're more credible in terms of you're not just chasing a dream. Like you actually have some type of infrastructure.
Right. And then when you say infrastructure, that's exactly what it is, because my first mixtape, not my first mixtape, it's going to be like my fifth, but I'm going to make a mixtape a little bit after this approximate time next year. I'm going to name it Internet Money.
Ooh.
Okay. And it's going to be basically telling the youth, like, stop going to the streets. Stop saying you got to go sell this and that. Stop robbing these people. Stop selling these drugs on the streets to make this money. Man, you better get your butt on the internet. You better find something to do.
Right.
You ain't necessarily got to go to college. Find something to do. I'm just going to sit there and preach like I made this and that from the internet. Okay, I'm going to do it in a hip way, the way that people can understand it. It's going to be street lingo. It's going to be to where the youth today can understand it, but they're going to also understand you don't have to do that.
Right. They're going to be able to relate to you.
Yeah, they're going to be able to relate.
Right. So this is a really important and interesting question I have for you. Since you are urban, right? You are who you are. I am who I am, right? Like, I think our realities growing up is a little different. And so, like, how are you able to say, I make $40,000 a month and not be a little bit apprehensive in the world that we live in today? Because, I mean, it's no secret. You a black dude saying I make $40K a month, like, that's a target on your back, so to speak. So, like, how do you kind of, like, know how to balance the two?
Not be arrogant.
Ooh, not be arrogant. Elaborate on that a little bit.
You know how most people flaunt it. They instead of saying I made $40K a month, they're like, look, I made $40K a month. You broke. Right. I made $40K a month. Every 5 minutes, every 2 songs, I made $40K a month. The content, can't find the words, but the content just don't change.
Right. But you saying I made this, now let me, teach you. Call me.
Now let me show you how to do the same thing.
Right. So it's really just that line of just not being arrogant and just knowing how to mold it and how to kind of put it so that people understand where you're coming from.
Right, and I don't want it to sound another thing. I'm not gonna make it sound like I made $40K a month. Pay me, give me your money. Let me show you how to do it. It's gonna be like, look, I made $40K a month. I can show you, or you can use your mind and go find out how to do it yourself. Because it's the same thing I did.
Right. Absolutely. But if you do want to pay me, then that's cool, and I'll still show you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, can't get that twisted. So where could people find you at, look you up?
You can find me right now on Twitter. It's gonna be Will Glenn JDM. You can find me on Facebook. It's gonna be just Will Glenn. You can find me on YouTube. I'm currently putting my YouTube together. Only have 32 subscribers on there, but it's gonna be Will Glenn. And if you want to follow me personally on my music, you can look up Sean Jordan. Sean Jordan is me. That's the stage name I go by. You can look that up on Instagram. It's gonna be SeanJorden. Also on Twitter, Sean Jordan, and SoundCloud.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that, man. I think that you are, I think that you so dope because of what you're doing it for and your perspective on the world. And, you know, like, not a lot of people are rappers, but then start a social media agency making money and saying, I'm going to dump this back in rap money. So, like, I think that that's so dope, man. And I think it's so, like, unique that, you know, you definitely going to continue to go far just because of the mindset. So, man, I'm going to continue to wish you nothing but success, and we definitely going to stay, you know, connected as well.
All right, that's cool. And another thing, I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
you said rapper. A lot of things people don't know about me, that's the first thing people think is I'm black. Rapper. I haven't rapped in a long time. Every song that I put out has been like pop EDM for the last 2 years. Now, the rap is going to come next year.
Okay.
Because right now, see, that's what a lot of people don't understand. The money is not in the rap anymore. Rap money comes from shows.
Touring, yeah, on the road.
Touring.
And
you want to,
merch.
another thing I'm going to try to encourage the youth, especially the black youth, don't think just because you're black, you have to follow that stereotype of hip-hop, rap.
Right.
You got EDM, you got, I'm just going to name some genres, trap, big room, future bass. You got all of these producer traps. Learn to play an instrument, learn to get behind the keyboard and produce, because a lot of rappers today, they aren't saying anything, and it's just going to be gone in a few years. So it's going to rely on a producer to make the artist hot.
Right, that's very true. Because are you familiar with Nav?
Yeah, Nav.
Man, he said some dude took him under his wing and put him on the map. Like, put him on the map big time. So, and you know, that goes to what you're saying. And then he just put out a project with Metro Boomin, and we all know Metro Boomin is super hot right now.
Right.
So that goes exactly to your point. Definitely, man. So, and that's very interesting because a good example of that is, so Sway Lee, right? The dude from Ray Sherman, right?
Right.
So he was with his partner, and I'm pretty sure they're still together in terms of as a group or a duo. But he did that song with French Montana, Unforgettable, and that showcased his talent on a whole nother level.
Right.
On a whole, and that I know that right there is gonna it has, if it hasn't already, take him to a whole nother level, because he's not boxing himself in just to hip hop.
It is. You're right. Because now you're going to have a whole lot of producers like Diplo, Skrillex, Hardwell, like these white producers who do these, like, and I'm not trying to be like separate race, but white predominantly industries and genres who's going to want that on their songs.
Absolutely.
Because the song that they just did, Unforgettable, was a dance house song that was made by white producers, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, man, look, that album, I mean, that track was just ridiculous. I listen to it every day.
It was.
I listen to it every day. Like, that song is ridiculous. And it appeals to everybody on this planet. It's kind of like that Pharrell Happy song.
Right. And then the video itself, is just straight art.
Yes. It was a perfect place to shoot the video at. The perfect place, man. So yeah, man. But everybody listening, go check out Will. Please go check him out, because I think that just what he's doing and just what he stands for is amazing, and it's dope. And, you know, it's just a lot of humility there. So definitely reach out to him. And Will, man, do you have any parting words?
My parting words would be for everybody, just stay up, man. No matter what life throws at you, take me and many more other people that's successful now as an example.
Right.
You're going to get through it. I mean, it might not happen as fast as it did for me, but it's still going to happen. I mean, it might happen sooner, it might happen later, but it's going to happen. Do not give up.
Right.
Do not give up. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're doing, and you can do it. I know you didn't hear this 1,000 times, but you can do it.
Right. And it's so real. It's so real. So definitely, man. So everybody listening, hit up Will. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We're going to talk to you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Starts with a Vision podcast. Come get your vision clear at www.startswithavision.com. See you there.